All right, we are back live.
Woo!
So sorry for the technical difficulties, but hey, that's live, right?
It happens.
So thanks so much for hanging in there with us. But we will get started. And for those of you that weren't here a little bit ago when we did our introductions, I basically said, "Welcome to Work Week Wind Down and happy Friday." Yes, I am here a little bit earlier today, but I am really getting ready to wind down. And I am headed out the door and on the road as soon as this broadcast is over. So, wanted to come to you guys a little bit earlier so that I don't have to put lives in jeopardy and do the podcast while I'm driving on 77. So we have a special guest with us today, Miss Michaela. She is with Landis, and she is going to share great information to all the viewers out there, whether it's for yourself, a family member, friend, coworker, colleague, whatever. If they have ever, um, voiced concern about affordability, but wanting to become a homeowner, then this is definitely an option. I'm all about providing solutions to problems that are out there. So if if it relates to you, great. If it doesn't, just keep it in the back of your mind. If you hear of anyone that talks about, hey, I may have some things that are preventing me from becoming a homeowner right now, but it is definitely one of my dreams. This right here, this opportunity will definitely help transition that individual into home ownership. So now that I've said all of that, Michaela, I will let you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with Landis, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I am an OG with Landis. We're a startup that started several years ago, and so I've been with Landis. I actually live in North Carolina, in Greensboro. I've been here for 2 years, but I grew up in the South, and Landis operates in a lot of the states within the Southeast.
Mhm.
So yeah, listen up if you are ready to perhaps buy a house, but maybe have been turned down by a lender. The news that we're going to share is coming your way.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Now, you did say North Carolina. I remember at one point South Carolina was included also. And I know that, you guys are trying to, redesign things. And that's, on the list, but not as of right now. But what are the other states that you guys cover? Because I have viewers that are out of state.
Sure. Yeah. So North Carolina,
Hmm.
obviously, we're working on getting back to South Carolina. So hopefully that's soon enough. Other states are going to be Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Ohio, Indiana, actually Kentucky, and Pennsylvania and Maryland are also on the radar to come back into. So lots of the Southeast.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I love it. A lot of coverage. So,
A lot of
if
coverage.
you guys are in that area, just, reach out, let me know. You've got my contact information and we'll get you in the right place to be. But Michaela, tell me, how exactly can Landis help buyers currently in the Charlotte market and the other markets that you mentioned where you guys
Yeah.
are?
Yeah. So really anyone. So Landis's mission is to create home ownership in America, right? And there's been so many areas and people that haven't either been able to afford home ownership due to affordability issues, or have been turned down by a lender because of credit or something that what happened 5 years ago.
Mhm.
And Landis just doesn't think that everybody needs to be penalized like that,
Right.
and everybody can live the American dream. Creating wealth for your family or for generational wealth really does start with home ownership.
Mhm.
So we come in with a cash offer, right?
Mhm.
Which is like, okay, that's cool. So you, as the agent, would invite clients. So if any clients are listening and they're like, "Wow, this sounds really cool," contact Lori, because she'll invite you to apply with our program, and we will collect some financial information. But basically, we're going to do our own underwriting and say, okay, these clients can be coached into home ownership later. So we just buy the house for you now, right? And so, yes, it's lease to own or rent to own, but I try and, flip that script, because rent to own has not traditionally been
Right.
favorable in the past. It's been rent to never own.
Right.
So we're trying to shake that up and turn it upside down, and really allow clients a path to home ownership
Mhm.
that want it. So whether you're a renter or a buyer, really anybody can use Landis, in this moment in time.
Right, right. Well, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So many horror stories are out there as it relates to, rent to own or lease to own. Oftentimes it's geared more towards like those private owners, those private
Yeah,
landlords, um,
right,
that, may or may not have honored what they said initially when, those individuals signed a lease.
right.
And I mean, that's the unfortunate part, but you guys have been around. How long has Landis been
Yeah,
in business?
so a little more than 3 years total.
Mhm.
So we've been doing this for a while, and really transparency is
Yep.
key with us, and making sure that our clients are very well informed about the financial responsibilities
Mhm.
of what it looks like to work with us,
Mhm.
what their repayment price will be, so no surprises along the way is always our goal.
Right. Right. I love it. I absolutely love it. So tell me, um, so you said that you guys go out, you purchase the home for the clients, right?
Yep,
So at what point can they become the homeowner? Like,
sure.
when will it be their home and
Yeah.
not
Uh, you
Landis's?
know, I love it, because at any point, right? At any time is the answer for that. We have a lot of clients that, maybe found the house of their dreams, and then the lender kind of at last minute wasn't able to, finish the loan. And they just need 3 to 6 months,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So you can use us for that scenario. Or we have clients that, maybe there's a past bankruptcy or something a little more major on their history where the lender says you're going to need another year or two.
Right.
That's okay too. So that's somebody that we can coach into home ownership for a little bit longer. We've made recent changes to the program where we used to put a 2-year max on it.
Mhm.
Now it's really meeting clients where they are in their journey and growing from there. So if it's going to take 3 years, that's a okay. We still can work
I
with
love
you.
it.
So at any point is the answer.
I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so, all right, so they have that amount of time. What are the guidelines, for
Yeah,
qualifying? I know that, like, for if there are any self-employed, individuals that are out there and they're like, "Oh gosh, I don't have 2 years," like, this
mhm,
you guys listen up.
yep,
Listen up because
yes.
this right here is a game changer. So I'll let you go ahead and share that information, Michaela.
Yeah, so lots of clients that are self-employed use Landis. So general guidelines are 550 or higher credit score.
Mhm.
That's right. You heard me right.
Mhm.
550 or higher credit score. We do need to see 55-ish thousand dollars in household income annually.
Mhm.
And so that can be, two people, pulling that money together to create the 55K. Obviously, that's going to depend on, what the overall budget should look
Mhm.
like. We actually purchase homes between 150 and 500,000. So,
Nice.
obviously somewhere within that
Nice.
range, depending upon the income that those clients make. We're going to do our own sort of debt to income and rent to income calculations behind the scenes. Past that, clients do need to have a little bit of money saved up. And so we're going to collect an initial down payment deposit of roughly 2 to 3%. So easy math, $200,000, you're going to need, between $4,000 and $6,000.
Mhm.
Now, all of that money, you do make an initial down payment deposit when we are, writing up an offer
Mhm.
um, with an all cash offer. But that money comes back to the client. So when they buy the house back from us, that's what they get to kind of start that piggy bank
Mhm.
in order to create the affordability to purchase the home back.
Right.
What's cool too is we've had a lot of clients recently ask about how does down payment assistance overlay with Landis, and you can use both,
Oh, yeah.
right? So if you had 2 to 3%, you can move into a Landis home, use DPA while you're renting, take those classes and pull up your credit score, and then use that to help, purchase the home on, in a year or however long. So you can use both. So really, I mean, I think it's kind of a secret weapon of affordability in a lot of markets that have down payment
Oh,
assistance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's the rough guidelines, to talk about short term or, transient or self employed. We are much more relaxed with what we're looking for as far as documentation. If someone is self employed, instead of the lender needing, 2 years in tax returns, we do need to see the last year's tax returns, but that's it,
Yeah.
right? So much more relaxed as far as, if there's a hairdresser or a truck driver, we can get somebody into our program a lot faster.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I love it. So here's the option, if you're in a position where you want to become a homeowner, your lease is coming to an end and you have to let them know whether or not you're going to renew the lease or or move out, you know, consider this as an option because at minimum you'll need like that $4,000 to $6,000 in savings, right? But instead of having a full 3%, 3.5%, or 20% down that you would need for a down payment to go ahead and purchase the home, plus all of the other items that go along with the home purchase. So you've got your appraisal, you have your inspection, you've got your due diligence, you have your earnest. So all of those are amounts that you would need to have in order to go ahead and start that home buying process. But, Landis allows you to eliminate those things up front and give you time to get prepared to save those funds and, increase your score if need be. In order for you to get a better interest rate, because we know the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate, the lower your interest rate is, the lower your monthly payments will be. So I am super, super excited about this program. And like Michaela said, it's not just your low cost homes. They go up to what, 500,000?
Yeah, absolutely.
$500,000.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a wide array of folks that you guys are able to help. So, tell me what's the true cost? True
I
cost of the program.
always like, wait a second, everything she said is a little too good to be
I,
true, right?
I know, I know. I feel like I'm on an infomercial, but wait,
Yeah, but
there's
hey,
more.
there's more. Yeah. There is a cost of the program. And so, really any of the money that clients give us up front, kind of like you said, we're paying all the acquisition costs, all the money is put out from Landis to buy that house, the due
Mhm,
diligence, the
mhm,
inspection, the appraisal. And so, we are not-for-profit. So when the clients go to purchase the home back from us, say at that 1 year mark, use that
mhm,
$200,000 house, for example, it's 4% above that original appraised value. So in most markets, 4% is highly achievable, right?
right.
There's still investors gobbling up houses in certain price points. And so, 8 to 10% is highly achievable. And so what's great is for that $200,000 house, the client is buying it back on their loan, right, for
Mhm,
208. And,
right.
and the difference between a loan of $200,000 and $208,000 is like half of a cup of Starbucks a month, right? I mean, it's very nominal, so very low margins that Landis makes. But at that year mark, the easy way to describe it is it's 4% higher than that original appraised value, and that's
Right.
the only place that Landis makes its money because again, as the clients are paying, it's fair market value rent, right?
Mhm.
Which they're going to pay if they're renting anyways, right? So
Exactly.
to
With
me,
nothing to show for it at
nothing
the
to
end of the
show for
year.
it. And
Yeah.
the landlord is getting 100% of that equity, that profit, with the inability for those clients to never buy, right?
Right.
So with us, you're already doing apples to apples. And so you should just be living in a Landis house that's going to work for that client eventually and not against them in a traditional rental, capacity.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't say enough good things.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're not biased at
I'm
all.
not biased at all. Yeah, I just work here, but I do, I've been, an agent before. I
Mhm.
have my license. So, and I actually have investment properties of my own. And I feel like, without having that working for me,
Mhm.
it everybody deserves to have equity in their own home. There's
Right.
no reason not to, right? So
Right.
yes, I work for Landis, but it is a true passion of mine of, creating affordability and home ownership in America.
Right.
And and this is a great way to make that happen if, for whatever reason, the clients have been turned down by that lender or
Yeah.
not ready to jump into home ownership 100%.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I love it. Well, we have gone just slightly over our listen, and I can attribute that to, our technical issues, but I this is just some valuable information and I didn't want to skim out. There's so much more that, we can share, but I do want to be mindful of time. If you guys out there have any other questions, concerns, please reach out. Information is scrolling below. But this is an amazing opportunity for so many folks. And I want to be able to provide solutions and help make that impact of home ownership with as many people as I possibly can. So I'm your girl. Reach out to me. And I hope that you guys have a great weekend. Just stay tuned. Michaela and I have some things up our sleeves. I plan to come to you here in the near future with some more information. But yeah, until then, you guys make it great. Go out there, sprinkle your magic.
Love it.
And just be safe over the weekend. Yeah, I'm so glad that the weather is cooling down just a tad bit, at least here in Charlotte. So
Yeah, feels good.
yeah, I know. Well, thank you so much, Michaela, for joining us. I
My
really
pleasure.
appreciate it. Any
Yes.
last words that we didn't?
Yeah, I will sum it up and recap real quick by saying if anybody is curious about, applying, contact Lori. It is a free application and it's only a soft pull on credit, meaning it won't damage your credit.
Mhm.
So really no harm, no foul. If you're like, wait a second, do I want to do this or not? No obligation, but reach out to her. That's your first step to get a little bit more information, she'll log into her portal and send you an invite to actually apply. So that's my famous last words.
Yay! Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And you guys have a great one.
Thank
All right.
you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.